All right, what is going on, guys? Okay, it is the countdown. Dakar Rally getting ready to get started. It is not far away. Prologue going to be coming in soon, but what are these guys actually signed up for? Let's talk a little bit about that. We're going to be talking about distances. We're going to talk a little bit about, well, I don't know, what do they call that? The tail of the tape? Let's find out. What are these guys going to be doing? So Dakar Rally getting ready to kick off. If you guys didn't watch the previous episode where we talk a little bit about how the stage is made up, reiterate that super quick for you guys. So typical day of racing, you're going to have your liaison, which is the commute. You're going to have your special stage, and then you'll probably have another liaison. So depending on how the stage is laid out. A lot of riding going on, lots of kilometers covered. Speaking of kilometers, these guys are going to spread it across 12 different competitive stages that they're going to be running, 13 if you count the prologue. But the prologue is actually just basically your qualifying. So they throw the time out, but they only use that time to decide the starting order of the next stage, which would be stage 1. After that, it just becomes your finishing order. Your finishing order after every stage becomes your starting order for the next day. So very, very interesting, especially with them going to be with the ASO, the organization going to be splitting up the stages in certain days where they're going to have vehicles and bikes in different areas, starting different courses. This should be really interesting. Let's talk about the distances that these guys are going to cover. So we know that originally the Dakar Rally started Paris, France, Dakar, Senegal, 10,000 kilometers, roughly 6,200 miles. Well, that was before. Now, with faster bikes, they're covering shorter distances this time around, and it has been shrinking a little bit as far as the distances go. It's shrunken and it's grown. So it's there's been some ebb and flow to it, but this year's edition is going to be no exception. It is still a lot of miles that they're going to be doing, averaging over 399 miles roughly per day. That is what these guys are going to average. So 644 kilometers. It is still everyday average is going to be a very, very long day in the saddle. If you're looking at the stage part, there's the stage part, which is your special stage. That's your time section. And then you have your total kilometers. That's going to include the liaisons. It's going to include the special stage side of things. If we're looking at total distance covered, it is anticipated that these guys are going to run 7,737 kilometers. That is the anticipated. That is what they're looking to run for this year's 2025 Dakar Rally. So that is it's bearing any stage cancellations, any stage modifications. It could go longer, it could go shorter. It just depends on what happens. So I'll put the graphic so you guys can see it, but you're going to have all of these stages laid out where our average again is going to be about 399 miles per day, 644 kilometers, 7,737 kilometers total. What they're looking to run, roughly going to be 4,797 miles total that they're going to run for this event. So that is a very long day. That is why the teams are big. That is why there's a lot of spare parts. That's why you see these bivouac cities that are moving across this desert in Saudi Arabia just to be able to support these riders and the vehicles. And imagine a bike, how much spare parts you could take. Now imagine for a vehicle, how much spare parts you're going to need for that to run these competitive miles. So very, very long distances, roughly anticipated 5,129 kilometers of that is going to be your actual special stage time. That's your time section. That's where the counts. That's the clock we're going to be looking at. Those are going to be the split times we're going to be looking at. That is the competitive section of this, the competitive component of the rally. You've got 3,180 miles. For those of you that are in the miles system rather than kilometers, again, 5,129 kilometers anticipated of special stage, which equates to 3,180 miles total distance. So the Dakar has grown, it has shrunk, it has done a lot of things, and this year's going to be no exception with, again, David Costera saying that, hey, this year's going to be good. So you're going to have to work for it. There's going to be dunes, there's going to be rocks, there's going to be a little bit of everything. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. If you guys have not already, you definitely want to like the video. If you find this information useful, we gotta help spread the word of Rally, right? And if not, you need to be subscribed. You need to hit that bell notification because coming up, we've got some more stuff going. We've got the electronic roadbook. That is going to be a first for everybody in the moto class this time around. So we're talking a little bit about that. You're also going to want to stay tuned because we've got another episode coming up right behind this, another video coming up right behind this. That is going to be us talking. Had a quick sec to talk with none other than Mason Klein aboard his Cove. He had literally just gotten off from doing a shakedown run on it. He's feeling pretty good, and we'll share some spy shots. Yeah, I could definitely see there's some on-road influence going on there. There's some really trick parts going on these bikes, and I mean it is going to be something special. So this bike is going to be dialed in. So we'll talk a little bit about him, or with him, about what he's got going on with his bike. These guys are getting ready right now. They should be waking up here pretty shortly. 5:53 right now in Saudi Arabia. So it is going to be the tech and scrutineering day, a part 2 for some of the teams, a little bit of shakedown, a little bit of media, and then it's time to get ready because tomorrow, or what will be our Friday night, is going to be their prologue. So stay tuned for more. If you haven't already, don't forget, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit this bell notification. It's YouTube. You guys know what to do. Anyway, stay tuned for more. Hope you guys are enjoying. If you guys got anything, drop it in the comments down below, and let's see what we need to get you guys information on. So stay tuned. We'll see ya.